And it looks like we are live. And I need to open this stream up to the public. And I need to fix my pop filter so that it's actually facing me. Good morning, everybody. This is the Not Dave Grohl Show. You know what we do at this point. Everybody knows what we do at this point. I am in blue light filter today because I did not feel like lighting my room. So, still messing with the brightness here. But, for those of you that, oh, my camera went down. Check that out. Oh. Because my camera software completely froze. Okay. So, I hope I don't have to restart. The last time this got hung up, the only thing I could do was restart. And there seems to be some kind of a static on my... Oh, that is really bright for natural lighting. Okay. So, let's turn the temperature controls back on. Make ourselves blue people. Smooth it out a little bit. There, I think we're working. So, for those of you that missed last night's riveting episode, of which it was absolutely amazing, I apologize because it didn't happen. I ended up getting reminded that I had a show to be at last night, and so I rushed out the door to go do that, and then I got there and found out that the show is actually tomorrow night, like I originally, or well, tonight, by the time I got there. But because it's an hour and a half drive, I decided to hang out and enjoy the nightlife in Sanford anyways, but I will be back out there again tonight, so for those of you that live out that way, hopefully I'll run into you, and for those of you that live closer to me, you should really go check the place out. Every time I go out there, I end up having an amazing time. So, but either way, last night's episode didn't happen because of that, so, and I've got to be back out there again tonight to go to the show that was supposed to be last night, but was not last night. Which, you know, it's kind of, this is what happens when you don't check your calendar. That's all I can say about that. Sorry. But, update on the song that we had been working on getting recorded and ready to be mixed. Well, I passed out a raw unmixed version, and our vocalist decided that he didn't like his vocals at all. So, he ended up coming out that night, retracking everything. That was my Valentine's Day. Very, very productive, and ultimately we ended up capturing some really good performances. So, I'm gonna have to sit down and start cutting that stuff together and getting that ready for a final mix. That being said, I'm not going to work on that on camera today, because this is kind of an impromptu episode at this point. I kind of came up with an idea that I want to play around with for a little bit, and I kind of just wrote it yesterday, and I've got some ideas up here that I think are going to sound pretty good in there. But I've decided that I'm going to kind of turn it into a lesson because it's a very droning pattern. It's 8 bars, and it repeats twice with a slightly different tail. So you've got the 16-bar pattern where you've got a rhythm, which I'll play for you guys here in a second, that by itself would be pretty boring. So I thought that this would be a pretty cool exercise in writing drums and leads and bass lines that can morph around that idea to make it more interesting. I don't know how that's going to turn out yet. This could be an absolute disaster. It could end up being completely amazing. But we're going to give it a shot anyways because I think that that is the right thing to do. Oh. I forgot to go live on Facebook. That would help. That would really help. All right, for those of you in Facebook land, you missed the introduction because I forgot to click the go live button. But you're here now. I'm not going to repeat the intro. There was nothing really interesting there anyways. But if you want to watch it, you can go watch the VOD on my YouTube channel. So sorry about that, but either way, we're live. What I will review is what I'm going to be doing on camera here today, which I kind of came up with this droney guitar pattern that by itself would probably get boring after 2 or 3 repetitions, but I thought it would be a cool exercise in using things like bass lines, leads, and drums to morph around a repetitive idea to keep it interesting and fresh, which is something that I've done in a few songs that I've written over the years. So I will get to playing that guitar part, and then we're going to track some stuff, play around with a few things, get a few ideas, and then we're going to build a drum pattern around it, in which case I'm basically what we've got going on is an 8-bar pattern that repeats with a slightly different tail every single time, and I'm thinking the first 4 bars are going to have really chaotic drums. They're going to be more fill oriented, and the last 4 bars of the pattern are going to straighten the drums out to kind of give it a groove. And that pattern is going to repeat twice with a slightly different tail. But I'm figuring that might not be a bad way to spend a Saturday morning for a couple of hours. Give you guys some content, gives me something to do. Because I skipped last night's episode, and then I was going to do last night's episode tonight. Due to a scheduling snafu where I was told I needed to be somewhere and then found out that I didn't actually need to be there, and it was so far away that I was just like, screw it, I'm going to go enjoy the nightlife. But I got to be back out there tomorrow night to do the thing that I was told I was supposed to do last night, which it'll end up being fun. It's always a good time out in Sanford. So either way, I was going to move that episode to tonight, but I won't be here tonight, so I'm doing it this morning. Because I'm trying to keep somewhat of a regular streaming schedule here. So, let me figure out, I need to get my there's my guitar in. I don't know why my Helix is not plugged in to my interface at the moment, so we are going to correct that. Input 4 is all the way down. Good. And yeah, I have no idea why that was unplugged. Don't remember why I changed that. But I'm going to go over this pattern, and it's just going to be the guitar pattern. It's kind of got a dramatic feel to it. And will actually match the mood of my chosen color grading here today, because it's actually got kind of a blue feeling to it. So let us open up Reaper. Let Reaper give us a new track. Let's set that to input 4. All right. And today I am yet again going to be using my Telecaster because I can never get sick of playing this thing. This is shy of my Ibanez 7-string. It is my favorite guitar. And we don't really require a low tuning. As a matter of fact, this is E standard, so which is a tuning that I almost never use anymore. But I did kind of come up with something in it So, okay, here is the idea. This is going to be the main guitar line that's going to repeat 3 or 4 times in this. This is not going to be a long piece of music, maybe a minute and a half at most. That's one of the things we're going to figure out as we do some scratching, which, for those of you guys that don't know what scratching is, that's basically just recording something. You know, it's like a pre-demo, if you will. So here we go. Here's the pattern. So I mean that's literally it. It's 16 bars long. It's only using 3 chords. We've got a um, uh, it's literally got a G major 7. So we got G major 7 or G major 7, an E5, you know, which is a power chord with an additional third. Is it a third? I think it's a third. And then we've got a B sus2. And that's the only 3 chords there. And we'll go through the pattern one more time because I kind of screwed it up the first time. So, yeah, that's really all there is to it, and that's all that the rhythm guitar is going to do. And we're gonna use bass lines and some simple melodies and some drum patterns to keep that idea, that really dramatic, really lost, very depressed blue feeling idea, keep it fresh and interesting for about a minute and a half. I hope, anyways. I don't know if this is going to turn out quite the way I want it to, but I am going to try to do it anyways. And we're just going to have to see how things go. So, for right now, so we get an idea of what we're dealing with. We're literally just going to scratch in a guitar and a drum, or not a drum, but, and we can actually go ahead and take that out. We're going to use the Nolly shoegaze kit today because this has kind of got that feel to it, but, well, we don't need this set to an input. We don't even need it recording. Apparently, I was double miking myself. But yeah, we're going to use the Nolly kit, and I'm actually going to try and experiment with writing the drums because the last track that I did on stream a couple of weeks ago, I actually recorded the guitars first and then built the drum patterns around it, and that kind of gave me a little bit of a better guideline. It allowed me to build the drums more rapidly, more accurately, and then I kind of just went back and re-recorded the guitars to make sure that they were tightly locked to that track that I wrote around them. But this time around, we're going to take it a step further. I am only going to write kick and snare patterns, and because there's going to be some, like, one of the things that I've always struggled with when I was programming drums has been writing tom fills. So I have always kind of thought in kick snare patterns, and then, you know, the fills have always been kind of an afterthought. But I'm thinking if I write my tom patterns as kick patterns first and then figure out where to place the toms based on that, I might come up with more interesting drum patterns. Because we're literally going to have 4 bars. It's just going to be a straight groove. But the first part of that's going to have some. I want it to have more complicated things. Whether or not we get there yet or not, I don't know. But we're going to try it anyways and see how it goes. I think that this might end up being a success if I think about it in those terms, and then I can proceed to move them to whatever toms I want. Because that's the beauty of working in MIDI is you can just if something's not where it needs to be, you can just literally shift it up. So let's see. Do I have my note list on my MIDI sequences? Yeah, we do have it in there. Okay, cool. All right. So the first thing we need to do is kind of figure out our tempo. And I'm kind of feeling... so it might be right around 120, which is where we're already at, but we're going to... All right, so after using the tap, and by the way, for people that don't know this exists, if you don't know what tempo something is at, if you click this right here, you'll see that it turns to tap. Start clicking where the tempo is that you're hearing in your head, and this will give you a very, very close approximation to what the beats per minute you're hearing is. You know, I'm sure most people do, but some people might not. And it's a very, very useful tool. So we should get a click very close to what I was just clapping there. Yeah. So yeah, we're just slightly over 120 here. Hold that thought though. I am going to be right back. All right, sorry about that. I have my washing machine going, and it was bleeding into the mic, and I could hear it in my monitors, so I just went and shut that door. Okay, before we get too far into this, let's go ahead and save this project. Let's name it after the moon phase, because we're currently still in a waxing... We'll call it waxing crest. I don't know. Let's look it up real quick. We might be to a half moon. Let's say Google current moon phase, because that is my ruling planetary body anyways. Waxing gibbous. So, I don't know. I don't like gibbous. That's not a very poetic word, but You know what? We're just going to go with waxing crescent because that crescents. Waxing crescents. Gonna call the project that. Kind of does have a. So I'm gonna come in here on bar 3, and for those of you guys that don't know, the reason I do that is when I'm working on something, I don't necessarily know what's going to come before or after a part, and it makes it really easy for me to go in here. If I need to insert extra bars at the beginning of it to write an intro for something, I could just go in here and do empty space at time selection, and it's going to start adding bars for me. And not only that, from like a mixing and an editing perspective, leaving yourself a couple of bars at the beginning of the project ends up being useful for multiple reasons. So we're gonna click in at bar 3. We're gonna record some guitar, and then I'm gonna plug in my bass, and I'm gonna play the ideas that I'm kind of hearing in my head. So this first 16 bar pattern is just gonna be the guitar, which it's an interesting idea, but by itself, if that repeats 2 or 3 times, it's going to be really boring. So that's the exercise here, is to use other instruments so that we can just keep that droning pattern throughout all of it, because that's really drony, really shoegazy. So let's give this a shot. And since right now we are just scratching, I'm not terribly worried about what my guitar tone is. I might actually end up using this. I don't know yet. But I'm not going to be concerned with it. So let's go in here real quick. Count in before recording is already selected. Good. Okay. And I immediately screw up. That's what first takes are for. And always remember to turn your click up so that you can actually hear it in your monitors. I'm going to set it to 0 dB. Might be a bit loud for you guys. I apologize, but I need it so that I can hear it. And I just realized that we need to speed up our tempo a little bit. Let's try, it looks like 134, because I am playing faster than the click, so... Alright, that should be close enough. Now, here is where we noodle around with the bass guitar for a little bit, and then we will proceed to start building drum patterns to this. Let's see. Preset, fluffy bass 2. Ooh, listen to that. Makes me want to do this. Oh, wrong input. There we go. Let's try that again. Which is not the bass line that we're going to use, but as soon as I heard that low E, I was like, ooh. feeling a little Alice in Chains groove there. All right, we're more or less in tune. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and loop this pattern. And I'm just going to keep playing until I hear what I want. And I'm also going to go in here to my metronome, and I'm going to turn on count in before playback. All right, let's see here. That's let's play around with it a little bit more. That works, and you can already hear in the bass line it's giving that more, it's giving it more texture, it's giving it more definition, and it's giving it more movement, which is making that droning pattern sound a lot more pleasant. So far this is working out the way that I thought, but I realized something. I need to put my mic in monitor only mode, because you can hear my you can hear me plucking the strings there. So thankfully I could take that out, because we definitely do not want that kind of ambience. All right, let's try to record this and see what happens. Might just leave it on a loop and do a couple of different takes and then see which one I like best. ended up liking that third take quite a bit because it just kind of felt like it fit into that groove. All right, so that kind of gives us our basic idea. Let's select take 3 out of this, save it really quick so that we don't lose anything. Unfortunately, the Get Good drum kit, after it's been running for a little bit, can crash, which is sort of a problem. But it sounds a lot better than the Steven Slate stuff, or at least for what I'm planning on doing here. So let's give this a listen real quick. Turn off. So yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. That's enough to start building, and we can kind of adjust later. No. Let's turn loop off for right now. Let's get into... And I'm going to build everything on kick and snare right now, and then figure out where I want to move things. So there's where our basic groove is. And then we're going to go in there and kind of fill it in. All right. All right, so our snare is kind of falling halfway in between. So we should be able... No, I don't want to flam. And the next part of our pattern should be... Alright, so, and then I should be able to take this pattern and repeat it. And then we're going to straighten it out into a standard groove right here. Go back and play this again. That might be a little too straight. But let's fill in this first section, because this is by far going to be the most complex. I need... Alright. Alright, so... Maybe about right there. That's too low. And that's also too low. Alright, so... grid, let's put it to 128. Let's put the note sets to 64th. Actually, let's put it to 128. Alright. So I've got a 16th, one and a snare. Still feels kind of stilted. Alright, so yeah, those notes are hitting fast. Those notes are hitting really fast. Let's try it like that. There we go. Let's try about right there. And I need another pattern right here, maybe? No, that's too soon. some of it's gonna fall into the next part. Let's see if we can. Oh, and you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Just to keep this consistent. No, I don't want human eyes. Not yet, anyways. That note forward. That forward a little. Oh, do I have to do this to all my patterns? Thought I could do that. Alright. Alright, so these seem to be not sure if I like diamonds. What are my other choices here? Oh, I guess those are my only choices. Alright. That's maybe about right there. Did I move it to, oh, set grid to 128. We're hitting 128th notes. Let's try that. Way too soon. Or way too late, rather. Sorry, I gotta look something up real quick.
All right. All right. What is my gap here? Let's see. double time feel here. Let's see here. Now let's repeat those two bars. even out all of these velocities as we go. Wonder if I can nudge those just a little bit forward more. Nope. Alright, so I need to nudge this back. Alright, so... So we've got more or less an 8-bar pattern here. So let's do that. quite sound tight enough, but... Take that note out. Why does it feel like there's a double kick hit there? Try that. Wondering if I can add a little bit more space to these notes. Maybe just a tiny hair more. Because they feel tiny bit rushed to me. Now that doesn't feel right. They feel so rushed. Why do they feel rushed? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, yeah, it's still not enough. One, two, three, four, five, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's. Yeah. So if I need 6 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it on 16th notes. That's really what I'm looking for. That matches up a little bit better. I'm going to have to do a lot of correction on those toms to get them to sound tight. So 16ths still feel too rushed. Maybe they are dotted in feel. No, definitely not dotted. There we go. I was programming them in triplets rather than they should just be straight 16ths. is awesome. Let's repeat that phrase. We still have a bit of a gap there. That sounds a lot better. Find some way to fill that space, and I think I'm gonna try a China crash, maybe. Um, 12 o'clock alarm. Do I have a splash in here somewhere? I do have a splash. Maybe a quadruple. I like that. It's odd, but it works. So here's the first 8. I screwed up. I don't want to delete that bar. That actually sounds really good. I'm actually pretty content with that. So that should give us our full. All I'm doing is, even though I'm playing the same pattern, I'm just... that's... Where are we at time-wise? About 1 minute. So I'm going to say... no. I'm going to say you need to get up on the correct line. Okay, so that should give us enough for 3 repeats, and seems like each section is about 30 seconds long, so it should be at about right at 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I'm gonna actually do 4 repeats of these drum sections. All right, so I'm going to say left, guitar right, I think I may actually just use that tone I used earlier. It didn't sound bad. I'm going to do 1 measure count in. And it seems like there's just enough variation in the drums to keep it interesting. So I think this little experiment I'm trying here is kind of working. Yeah, and I kind of like the airiness to that too. I might do something a little bit more reverb and atmospheric underneath that and bury it in the mix, so that all I'm getting is that effect. But so we got to get through 4 repeats of that in the left channel, 4 repeats of that in the right channel, and then we need to improvise a bass line. And then we need to start figuring out what kinds of atmosphere and lead we want to put on this. So let's see what we can do here. drum kit. It is so freaking intense. Oh, there it is. Okay, so oh yeah, I got all these unassigned tracks here that I can delete out that I don't need. I'm gonna move those up into there. Alright, that's a little bit better. I can at least hear my guitar over it, so I know where I'm at in the pattern. So yeah, let's try to get this recorded again. Actually, hold that thought. I need a coffee refill, and we're about an hour and a half in, so let me do that real quick, and then we'll get to it.
All right, and we're back. All right, though, yeah. This is what I love, like all those like really weird articulations and the get good drums, like they've got a pre-programmed roll and all kinds of stuff. And it means that you get far more articulation than what you can get out of Steven Slate without having to do some manual programming and some manual velocity tuning. Anyways, I'm caffeinated. My laundry has been switched over. For any of you wondering what household chores look like for me, not that anybody should find that interesting. All right. So now that we have this let's see if we can get these guitars tracked. I don't want to go too much longer because I still got to work out and all that stuff before I go out tonight. Once again, divulging things that nobody wanted to know ever. But let's see here. Let's give this a shot. Transition back to that major 7. All right. surprisingly difficult riff to play for only 3 chords. Lost track of time and space and sound and all of those other key senses. Because
a 2 count again. And let's do this. All right, and repeat 3 with the metronome on. Because this is more of a droney guitar thing anyways. So if I'm kind of missing stuff, I don't know. Let's go back through and with a second guitar underneath it, it actually sounds really in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this track to the neck position so that we can get more of a bassy tone. Which should give us a lot more character. Because we are going for creating a mood here. Or at least I am. You guys do whatever you want. but that's what I'm here for. Set that to 1 really quick. I did not hear anything inherently wrong with that. I do, however, hear a guitar cable hitting ground. All right, let's. This is with left and right hand. Yeah, I don't hear anything inherently wrong with those guitar tracks, not for these purposes anyway, so I'm not going to retract that. I think now, more than anything,
We need to get some bass in there, give it some movement. It's actually a pretty simple bass line, but it gives it a pretty nice movement to it, and it kind of pushes the atmosphere out a little bit. It's like I kind of want this to kind of be like painfully cathartic, I think might be the phrase. Painfully cathartic. I don't know, let's see. That's a happy accident moment right there. Staggering those notes. And then straightening the rest of them back out. Because that just goes over those tom patterns so neat. So we're going to redo this. First time play them straight. Second time play them dotted. That yeah.
much further do I want to take this today? We're 2 hours and 10 minutes in. All right. What I want to do is add some processing to the base real quick. So I'm kind of curious here. Because my bass records really quiet, so... Just that little bit of processing right there. actually sounds pretty good. Um, what do I want to use? Okay, there's an idea. No. I don't want it there. There's a couple of ideas to scratch in there. I think I'm going to end up having to double that note because it never comes through loud enough. I don't know. I've kind of got an idea there, but I don't really have an idea at the same time.
I don't know, that kind of has a hypnotic feel to it. That's kind of what I'm going for here. To ever send a copyright claim? No, this is all my music, so fuck off. Kindly. Yes, it does have live music, but it's my live music that I'm creating on the fly, which I've been doing for a while. But anyways, I'm going to sit there and think about building that stuff and figuring out what leads to go on there. And I think I'm going to do some kind of atmospheric keyboard stuff too. I just don't know what yet. So, because we are like massively running over time at this point, I am going to go ahead and cut the stream here. To anybody who joined me on a Saturday, which, let's face facts, who would? Most of you have something better to do with your time than do this. But for those that did, I thank you. Click the follow, subscribe button, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.